Level 42, Scales. And this lesson will introduce you to the A minor pentatonic scale, Form 2. The chart should be listed just above this video, so have a look at that and I'll explain how it works. You're looking at the scale diagram for A minor pentatonic scale, Form 2. Note to all students, be sure and recognize that the E here represents the big E string. A lot of students want to read this diagram upside down. Most scale diagrams work this way. So from the ceiling to the floor, it's the big E, A, D, G, B, little e. Those are the strings running horizontally. The lines running vertically represent the frets on your guitar. And this scale begins at the 7th fret on the D string. It's the red square. I've painted these squares red because they represent the root of the pentatonic scale. And so this note here is an A note, which is the root of the A minor pentatonic scale. Anywhere you put this square becomes the name of the pentatonic scale. If we wanted to perform a G minor pentatonic scale, we would simply move the square to the G note. So that's the good thing about being a guitar player, is that all we have to do is move the pattern around, but it's important that we know what the root is so we know the name of that scale. A lot of beginners want to start right here, but the problem with that is not the root, and you could end up playing the wrong scale. Also, you're not going to hear that as an A minor pentatonic scale. You're going to hear it as a different type of scale. So just remember, we always start the scale on the roots, and you could begin here or you could begin here. But for our studies here at Levels for Guitar, we're going to start on this note. The numbers represent fingers 1 through 4, and if you're reading my chord diagrams, they're exactly the same. This scale begins on the 7th fret of the D string, and you will play all the way up to this note, and then you go all the way back down to this note, and then you finish the root. So it's 1, 4, 1, 3, 2, 4, 2, 4, and you turn around 2, 4, 2, 3, 1, 4, 1. We go underneath 4, 1, 4, 2, turn around 4, 1, 4, and we finish at the root. That's your A note. And that was the A minor pentatonic scale, Form 2. It's just the back end of Form 1 A minor pentatonic scale. It acts as an extension, allowing us to move the A minor pentatonic up an octave. So if you look at the back notes of the Form 1 pentatonic here, they connect to the front end of Form 2 here. And that way you can seamlessly glide from one form to the next when playing guitar solos. But for now, we're just going to work on getting Form 2 memorized by itself. And as discussed earlier, since we're performing the A minor pentatonic scale, you want to begin with the root, the red square, on the A note. This is important because later on, you want to be able to identify the right scale for the right chord progression when playing lead guitar. So if we have a song written in A minor, you want to match that up with your A minor pentatonic scale. And the only way you're going to know that it's an A minor pentatonic scale is by identifying the root and then performing the pattern based off that root. Hear how those harmonize? The two work together. If we had a song that was written using a G minor chord, we would want to match that up with a G minor pentatonic scale. So we would find the G note and base our pattern off of that note. So a G minor pentatonic scale works with a G minor chord progression. Anyway, more about chord progressions later on. Right now, we need to memorize the A minor pentatonic scale form 2. So we're going to start here on the A note. We're going to go to the highest note of the scale right here, and then we're going to go all the way down to the lowest note of the scale, and then we're going to finish on the root. So here's what it looks like. Starting on the 7th fret. 1, 4, 1, 3, 2, 4, 2, 4. We turn around 2, 4, 2, 3, 1, 4, 1, 4, 1, 4, 2. We turn around back to 4, 1, 4, and we finish on the root. And just a quick reminder about your technique. You want to play close to the frets, on the fingertips, and with a straight wrist. You don't want your thumb too high or too low or too far to the left or to the right. You want to keep your thumb somewhere in the center of the hand. And as you perform the exercise, try to keep your fingers as close to the strings and over their appropriate frets. So you don't want your fingers flying up or too far to the left or to the right. Try to limit the movement for maximum efficiency. Make sure that you alternate using down and up strokes. If you're an acoustic player, you can float your hand over the sound hole. And if you're an electric player, keep your palm right up against the bridge here. You're going to use that as your pivot point. Nothing stabilizes technique like the use of the metronome. And for Form 2, we're going to introduce the straight 8 rhythm. So we'll have two types of practice. We're going to practice using straight 8s and swing 8s. Hopefully you know how to count 8th notes. So basically for every click, you will have 2 equal distant sounds. So for example, click, 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 click. Hear how that worked? You're just going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and click, 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 click. Those are 8th notes. The swing is built off the triplet. We've already talked about that in an earlier level. Click, 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 click. So it has a wobble to it. So there's a difference between straight 8s and swing 8s. And I'll demonstrate that. We're going to perform the straight 8 rhythm over Form 2 A minor pentatonic scale at 60 beats per minute. I'll give a 4 count and we'll begin. Straight rhythm, 60 beats per minute. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. A minor pentatonic Form 2 using the swing rhythm. I'll give a 4 count and we'll begin. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Excellent work. Remember, speed is not that important in the beginning. Good technique and memorization is what we need at first. Once you get that down, you can apply it to your metronome at 30, 40, 50, and eventually your goal tempo at 60 beats per minute. And once you've done that, you can integrate this into your normal daily practice routine. Okay, we'll get to work on that, and I'll see you in the next level.